So meanwhile, we can breathe whilst Zoom and all the amazing things. Very cool. We are now live streaming. Excellent. And recording. I've got to make sure we're recording. Okay, here we go.
What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world?
We're not seeing the video, Char.
We're not? Okay. All right, then we're going to have a plan B. Why is that? Okay, excuse me.
What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Actually, here's several hosts tonight. We have 10 co-hosts tonight. So welcome everybody to the Awakening World, and what an amazing show we have lined up for you. Living a purpose-filled life. And as many of us know, Scott, our beloved fearless leader, is up in Ashland, and he's with the Twin Ray, and they're just right now starting a dragon retreat. I'm not too sure what that's about, but I know that dragons are very, very powerful beamings. Anyway, I'd like to now introduce our beloved Teresa, who is going to introduce the rest of our beautiful guests for this evening. So welcome, Teresa.
Yeah, thank you, Omashar. And I just want to send out a big wave of love to Scott. You know, as he's starting his retreat, I'm so grateful that he feels comfortable just handing things over to us tonight, knowing that we'll take really good care of the community and that we'll have a lovely time. So Scott, we love you so much. Thank you for all that you do to continue to bring community together in such a powerful way. And Omashar, you could start bringing some people on as I'm talking. We do have a full, as he said, a full panel of co-hosts because we're all part of the connection field, and that is the host for tonight. It's a community of people coming together, cultivating coherence and learning how to cooperate and learning how to collaborate together, and knowing that we can better serve our communities when we join together and we just do the part that we're here to do. And as we do that, gosh, we find that we have so much more space to do our part, and that we can start to empower others that are doing parts that aren't necessarily ours to do anymore, especially as we're entering into this powerful time. So as you can see, we're moving around. Tatiana was with us this morning on our Global Coherence Pulse. First time that I got to experience Tatiana. Oh my gosh, you are in for it if you haven't had an experience with Tatiana. Grace, who's a member of the Connection Field and the global love team, the Global Heart team, the Guardian team. Yes, the Global Heart team. Yeah, Tammy Scarlett from Unify, but also her own majesty. I really think that that's a word that I am really using for Tammy and what she brings into strategic alliances and really calling us to a brand new way of doing things. Julie Kroll is here with us, another key partner, good of the whole, really bringing her wisdom in. We have Andrew Freeman with us tonight with Coherence Education for Children. I mean, we need that. We are the kids. We need the education for us. We have Annette, who's bringing us some energy from HeartMath Institute, which is also a partner of the Connection Field. We have Jane Young, who's with us. She's part of our community, and she's going to share what it's like to be inside of the Connection Field. We have Kadi J, who I don't see on screen yet, but she's coming. Kadi J will be leading us in a meditation and also taking us into a tour of the Connection Field. We have Lauren Pearson, who's also part of the community. He's going to share. So our intention tonight is just to have a really beautiful, heart-centered time together, where the time that we spend nourishes our very soul and sends a ripple of really good vibes out into the world, because we need it right now. So let's have this be a purposeful time. Let's have it be a time where we can relax, we can be uplifted by each other and the music. We can be nourished if we're feeling a little tired, like I am. It's been a long day. Like whatever it is that we need, let's intend that this is heartfelt, that it's relevant to where we are right now. And when we get done with the evening, we say, that's exactly what I needed. So that's my intention for tonight. So I also wanted to say Global Coherence Pulse, and I know this is also a shout out to Scott. Today was our 4-year anniversary. 4 years of the Global Coherence Pulse, every month.
Congratulations.
Sometimes more than just every month, right? Coming together to be a family and to experience coherence. And I can say on the Pulse this morning with Irvin Laszlo and Tatiana and Kadi J and Julie and Tammy, we were all there this morning. You can feel how rich the field is from coming together, consistency over this period of time. And it's real, the energy putting in the field together. So I just wanted to do that shout out, because the same with Scott, we all started about the same time. And here we are, we're still coming together as a global family, and we're still pulsing the field with our love and presence. So let's have fun tonight. Let's drop in. Omashar is going to start us off with some music. And Omashar, I just want to say thank you for hosting us tonight. And I really appreciate that Scott has found such a good, rich partner in you. I know having somebody that's, got the go and is really committed and brings in the kind of energy that you do is such a good thing. And so I'm glad Scott has you. I'm glad the community has you.
It's an amazing thing. It's like when you get to a certain resonance within yourself, you just attract the people to you that help you walk forward. And that is what's happened with all of us I see here right now. And I was trying to highlight more of us, including, of course, Diva Sonic and Tatiana, but the Zoom only allows you to bring up 6 or whatever we had on screen. And I saw in the chat, someone was just wondering about Scott, and Scott as well. He's doing what he needs to do to get to the next level of himself. And he's with the Twin Ray in Ashland at the Dragon Retreat. And so we're going to start off, we've already started. We're going to continue with a song from me called What If? And from there, we shall go deeper and deeper and deeper until there's only one of us here. So how about that? Here we go. Okay. Video's got a bit choppy.
What if we could find a way to wipe away all tears and fears, all broken hearts, to clear the way for a brand new start? Now that we see and know the way to lift our day and shine the light for all to see, the way back home and the way to be free. Let our love lead the way. Let the light shine through all. Let our hearts and minds be free. As we rise up from the fall, there is a way to see again, to be again, to know the truth and smile again. With an open heart we feel safe again. And now that we're free and we see that the way is to let our love show us a new way to be, and we relish the chance to be part of the dance that will recreate the world anew. What if we could find a way to wipe away all tears and fears, all broken hearts, to clear the way for a brand new start? Let our love lead the way. Let the light shine through all. Let our hearts and minds be free. As we rise up from the fall, there is a way to see again, to be again, to know the truth and smile again. With an open heart we feel safe again.
Oh, hang on. There we go.
Bless you, Omashar. Bless your sweetheart.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. It's always a joy.
Oh, thank
Okay.
you.
Over to you, beautiful.
Yeah, well,
Right.
before I dive into the connection field, I just want to say a few things. One, happy birthday to Susan. I just saw that she put in chat it's her birthday tomorrow. So anybody else that's celebrating a birthday, happy birthday to you. I put a link in the chat to our Pulse today with Irvin Laszlo. And, you know, if you're just kind of looking for something to watch in the next couple of days ahead, I highly recommend. It'll make your heart just feel so happy. So I put that in the chat. Also, you know, in the connection field and in the Global Coherence Pulse, when we're on these Zoom lines, we'll do something in the chats. If we hear something or somebody posts something that we really like resonate with, we can just type 11111 in the chat, right? Sometimes it's not words, but it's just saying yes, yes, or I agree, or that just really inspires me. So that's something we can do to kind of be interactive with one another. And I'm going to share my screen to start with just an image that for us is the connection field. And it's been an image that I've seen in my mind for the last couple of decades as I've been exploring this evolutionary moment that we're in. And I feel like it really reflects what's occurring now naturally. So I'm going to share my screen and have that be what you're looking at. Whoops. Let's go. Let's see right here. Full screen. No, there we go. So this is an image that one of our coherence, our connection field members created for us. That was a depiction of something that I've had since my days with Barbara Marx Hubbard. And I believe that the connection field is an awareness first and foremost. And I believe that it's an awareness that's awakening in the heart of humanity. And I think that we're all beginning to feel it. I think we've been talking about it for a while, but I think we're really beginning to feel that there's an awareness of our interconnectedness that's starting to emerge in an undeniable way from the inside out, as we relax and cultivate coherence inside of ourselves and search for a deeper relationship to life. You know, when we feel called to that, I believe that our awareness of the connection field begins to happen. And as I'm watching this kind of move around, it also is like there's a field and there's movement, right? And there's things happening. There's this natural attraction for us to gather. The Holo movement is another initiative around there's something gathering us together. There's something that's beginning to draw us into clusters with other aligned, resonant individuals and organizations and projects. And I believe that this has been happening for some time. This image also reminds me of a story that I heard when I was working with Barbara Marx Hubbard, and we've started to mention this again, like the butterfly, the transformation of the butterfly. And when I first heard that story with Elizabeth Sahtouris, and she talked about the imaginal cells and the caterpillar soup, and I realized it was such a good way to describe what I was experiencing, because I knew that the world around me, the soup that I was swimming in, wasn't me. It was like all of a sudden, I didn't relate to it in a way where before maybe I wasn't aware of the difference that I was in relationship to that. And so I started to identify myself as an imaginal cell, as a different vibration in a field of this other energy that I wasn't anymore. And the more that I did that, the more I started to tune into my own presence. And I think every single one of these dots, and really the most essential responsibility that we all have in the connection field, is to attune to the quality of our own presence, our own coherence. And so from that, as an imaginal cell, I thought, well, I keep putting my attention outward into the soup I'm swimming in, and there's so much to do, and it's so big, and it feels almost impossible to overcome. And maybe that's not where I should have my attention. Maybe it's putting it on the imaginal cell that I am and figuring out what that actually is and what it's to do. And I think as many of us started to do that, what we did was all of a sudden we began to feel the vibration of who we are. We started to kind of resonate a little bit with this energy inside. And that's what I think began to connect us energetically. As our awareness of ourselves and our attention on it began to be activated, we began to naturally cluster together. So the connection field in its kind of simple and I think most natural state, I believe, is this awareness of our interconnectedness with all things and our unique point of love that each of us is in that field. The connection field is also something that's emerging from a group of organizations and individuals, Good of the Whole, Unify, HeartMath, Global Coherence Pulse, Purpose Earth, that we're willing to ask a question together around how can we better serve our communities by joining together, by instead of creating our own spaces that we're inviting our communities into, what if we were to come together and create something where we could each do our part and that our communities would be better served if we were to do that? And the connection fields in its manifestation, that emergence that's happening as we ask those questions and show up, boy, wholeheartedly and authentically in the mess and in the beauty of what it means to collaborate with each other. The connection field is a growing community of people who the cultivation of coherence individually and collectively is alive at the heart of that community. And I personally believe that the cultivation of coherence is one of the greatest gifts that we can actually each individually contribute to the whole of life. So just in closing, before I hand it over to Julie, I just want us to just have a moment to just be with this visual, to see ourselves as an individual light and how we're being attracted if we come into coherence to be on purpose, but in the moment, as opposed to some overarching design, and allow ourselves to be in partnership with life and be in partnership with this impulse that's driving and drawing and pulsing us together. I know we're all connected, and that gives me so much hope as to what's possible in the future. Like I have no doubt in my cells that what's coming is more beautiful than we can imagine. So to me, those are the layers of the connection field that I think about, that I play inside of as I think about the connection field and participate as a member. And my part is I'm the Global Coherence Pulse. I get to add that into the field, and I get to partner with other people like Julie Kroll, who I'd love to bring on. And Julie, with all of the wonderful things that she does out in the world, she brings so much of that energy into the connection field. And Julie, I love you so much. And I'm so grateful to be in partnership and to know that some of the legacy of what the Good of the Whole was doing found a home in the connection field without having to not be what it is, but to be more of what it is.
That's a good way to say it. Watching your image and you're talking about all things connected, Teresa, I started my show, the Dr. Julie Show, All Things Connected, going on 11 years this fall. So it's 10 and a half now. And we started off bringing all these scientists in, right? And spiritual wisdom keepers. And we were trying to prove it. Like the very first few years, we were like, I would say, what does all things connected mean to you? And they would be like, really trying to prove it. And then there was this turning point just a few years in, and it was like, oh my gosh, we're not trying to prove it anymore. we're all just believing and knowing and living it. And so I love that you brought that in, because yeah, it's at the heart of everything right now. And it's at this nexus point as we're on this precipice of the unitive age here, of really bringing in connection with coherence. And I'm going to start with that, Teresa, because this is a gift Teresa brings into the connection field. But you talked about the pulse starting 4 years ago in March, and then Awakening World was, I think, a little bit after that, a few months, because I was watching as the connection field 1.0, the very first connection field was March of 2020, as a call to the pandemic of, we don't want to be alone, we're isolated, what do we do? And it became a 24-hour Zoom room. And that's how it started, was we started bringing community from Good of the Whole into the Zoom room. And we did it with coherence and resonance. Like, we did it with the priority to really establish coherence as we connected. And so one of my favorite things was the Resonance Lounge, which we had several hours a day where people would come in and we'd do this attunement, and we'd come into our heart space and just connect and be. And then it grew rather fast. I wasn't going to share all this, but I will, since I brought it in, so that we began and our community was there, and people started hosting an hour or more. So it was like all of these mini classes, workshops, or shows. Like, it was like all of these hosts came in, and then Brother Phil Lane Jr. saw our little promotional video, and he saw that it was 1 minute and 11 seconds, and the 111 caught his eye, and he clicked on it. And he said, oh my gosh, they're doing what we wanted to do. And he said, how did they know we wanted to do that? Like, we stole it. And then all of a sudden he realized how silly he was being. And he just laughed and laughed and laughed. And he called me and he said, tell me about the connection field. And Brother Phil brought all of his community into the connection field. At that time, they were just starting a women's talking circle training program. And they brought the entire community. And so it grew really, really fast. And then, of course, we had all kinds of new programming in this 24-hour Zoom room. We were coordinating it. We were building it on the fly. It was quite an adventure to stay up with all volunteers and like onboarding people and teaching coherence as we're doing it, because we had this big cultural difference too in how we would do a talking circle versus coming into the Resonance Lounge and doing an attunement. And we were learning from each other. We were growing and what have you. But Teresa, I love that you live and breathe and embody coherence, and that you've really brought coherence into the architecture of the Connection Field 2.0. And I think it's what really becomes that magnetic attractor. It really is something that we can feel and we can experience, not only with each other, but just in the platform itself. So thank you for your genius in doing that. And I think there's a few other pieces. I want to drop in our theme with purpose-filled life. And yet I want to put an amen on the following the impulse of evolution that Teresa talked about. Because in this connection field version, connection field 2.0, it's just the connection field. We don't have to call it 2.0 or 1.0, but in this latest iteration, it is completely been guided with the impulse of evolution in emergence. And it has been such a blessing and a joy to be with organizations that really value coherence and value that impulse and know how important it is to co-create with that source consciousness coming through all of us as we work together in community. So our core team has really been blessed by this journey and the learning of it as well. We have people who are watching saying, help us learn how to do this as organizations. Like, we're watching you and we want to learn, what are the wins? What are you doing well? What are you learning? What are you not doing so well? And we had our first little major bloop like a week or two ago, and it was, we could clear it, we could move, and again, then the momentum comes in, and as long as we stay purpose driven, the momentum is moving us forward, and it is so beautiful. We're watching as many organizations are trying to create movements. Many organizations are trying to network the networks, and there's this different quality that we're holding, and how it's emerging through us, instead of us trying to architect and think our way through of how do we create momentum, or how do we create a movement, or how do we networks. We're just saying, how can we serve our communities better? Okay, how important is coherence? And I think coherence at the center of everything is what's really making it work and be a joy-filled space for people to come and to connect, and all the different offerings that are already going on, live Zoom room pieces that you can jump onto. There's daily questions. We have, I love doing my little piece. I do what's called a whole latte love. We have the Coherence Cafe, and the whole latte love is just a little sip of daily practice where we come in and do a little heart coherence. And then I have a prompt, a quote and a beautiful image usually, and we just kind of chew on that or sip on that. We call it a sip on this. And we share and we commune around similar thoughts and ideas, and we expand our thoughts and ideas. And I love that piece. So with that, I just want to say we began months ago we began in November with a community theme. I think was our first month that we had a theme around abundance. No, around gratitude and Thanksgiving. And then we moved into December with abundance. And then in January, we had the 7 days of rest. So we were doing the 7 days of rest theme. And then February was Irvin Laszlo, the symposium of our sacred mission. So we picked that up and we talked about coherence as really being an important part of our sacred mission, and then evolved it. And March's theme is living a purpose-filled life. And it's been, I think it's been a part of an acceleration process. I'm going to say that, and we'll see what some of our members say. But as we bring in this monthly theme and we're bringing it in daily, and we get to connect around these powerful pieces, and yet really holding it in a really high frequency, in a unitive space. It's like we rarely use language that's in separation consciousness. We rarely have conversation that is in separation and using language and ideas that keep us in competition or separation in any way. So as we raise that frequency and really attempt to hold that, we're seeing this acceleration. We know that frequencies entrain to the highest frequency. And so just by being there, I think there's this cumulative effect and an accelerated effect in all of our awareness of how we see the world, how we relate to one another, how we literally bring ourselves into the unitive age, and really be proficient agents of change. Proficient agents of change in all of our different purposes, all of our different vocational interests, passions, hobbies. We're literally sharing and communing and cheering each other on. But I do believe that the coherence is really a powerful co-creator with us. So with that, another powerful co-creator, Teresa called her into her majesty, because she, wow, Tammy is a powerhouse. We're going to bring on Tammy Scarlett from Unify. Tammy's also a part of the Holo Movement core team. She's doing so much with the portfolio and other things. And Tammy's wisdom keeps us grounded. There's something about Tammy that keeps us clear too. Like if we go a little sideways, Tammy just like gently is like this homeopathic drop that comes into the center of our circle, and we all realign into this clarity again. And I just love that about her. I've learned so much from Tammy, And I just love and trust her wisdom and the truth that comes through her. So Tammy, we're going to give you a moment to share.
Oh, wow, Julie and Teresa, thank you both. I'm so very honored by being able to be in these spaces where we get to be all of ourselves with one another. And I am over the moon that I have had the opportunity to, and Unify, of course, but I get to be in those rooms and the connection field meetings. I get to do that, and I'm so blessed because it's been this like adaptive learning environment as we explore what's possible together, iterating and noticing what comes up, just really being intentional, not just about the heart coherent space, which is so very important, but also being attentive to the fact that we're a learning planet. We are a learning species. So having intentional learning models where we're going into it not expecting perfection or a singular exactly as we planned it outcome, it's just been such a relief to my soul to be in that kind of state of flow. So thank you, universe, and thank you, Teresa and Julie and Kati J and everybody, Claire, Hera, Alexi, everybody who's in there in the quarantine, because it's been a blessing to my soul. And Julie, like what you were just sharing earlier about your experience, how with this group over time, you observed that you guys were spending a lot of time and energy trying to prove something that you believed in, and then got to a point where you're like, oh, well, I guess we don't have to, maybe even not knowingly, but just there comes a point where you don't have to prove it anymore. And I feel like we're at a similar kind of precipice as humanity, which is like kind of confusing maybe to say, because humanity is just such this bulk of the whole of the 8 billion, and our state of things in many ways is not coherent. Any one of us on this call could call out things on the planet that are not in coherence, that don't feel aligned, that we don't want to continue. And that's part of why we join in these things, to raise the frequency together. And what I've been really reflecting on lately is that, as best as I can tell, right before there's going to be some big major growth, at least this has been true in my own life, and I think I can see it in patterns in the world as well. Oftentimes there comes up a little kerfluffle to the surface. And, kind of like if there's an earthquake and the tectonic plates shift and it's all rumbly and things get chaotic, and then it settles. And it's settled now into its new place that it's going to be for a while. So for me, I feel like I'm in these spaces, connection fields, one of them. Julie mentioned Holo Movement, with the Upshift, with the Unify, working on the impact portfolio. There's literally hundreds of organizations that I'm like directly connected in, and I love it. And I feel like I'm bearing witness to us being like up close and personal in each other's major quantum leap becoming on an individual level and on the whole. And so of course these things play out in fractal representation. So what I've been focused on for myself is being compassionate with myself, being at the highest possible state of awareness for myself, so that I can invite in. I want to activate myself with things I'm assuming I don't know everything yet. Okay. I'm assuming I won't in my lifetime. I'm assuming that even collectively, we don't know everything yet. As much time and attention as we've put on our growth and spiritual growth and development. And there's room for me to switch on things that I don't maybe know what they're called yet, to allow myself to be upgraded in ways that I might not have learned that in a book, like just make myself available with the universe to the very furthest edges of myself that I didn't know how those would switch on or what it would be like when those got activated. And I want to be in that becoming space very presently so that I'm not comparing myself to everybody else. I'm not even comparing myself to prior versions of myself, because that would only get me so far. All I have to do is better than I did last year, better than I did last week. And then I get a little bump. I'm not even interested in that. I just want to be present to exactly what's possible in this next moment that's for the highest good for myself and for everyone. And I want to feel into that, and I want to let it be. And then I want to let all the parts of me that are ready to transform with that transform. So I'm looking for that actively in my conversations and in my relationships, and especially in these rooms where we're practicing collaborating radically, or new ways of synergy, or new types of collaboration, or new models. Look, we're on the precipice, right? We have AI on the move. We have psychedelics that aren't as taboo anymore. We have all these things that are coming in hot. There's going to be new finance. There's going to be new governance. There's going to be new systems for things very, very quickly. The adjustment can be clunky. It can be crunchy, or the adjustment can be easeful and elegant. And I want to be present for doulaing these shifts in as much as I can in my part, in ways that are easeful and kind, that meet people right where they're at, that meet me right where I'm at. Compassion, forgiveness, whatever. It might be a little bumpy. And then also knowing that no matter who is in my sphere, they're there for a reason, and that we're all these fractal representations of the whole, and that every single one holds the same exact value. And if I can come into rooms knowing that, and quiet myself, quiet my spirit to hear and listen and learn in ways that allow other people in the room to have moments of complete value, so that I'm seeing them for what maybe I wouldn't have noticed before. And then maybe hold circles in that kind of space, maybe hold governance conversations in those kinds of spaces, so that the becoming has this soil that it can become ripe within. And so again, for me, this just comes down to, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know that any of us do. I feel like we're learning and doing that together. And I really want compassion and honor and forgiveness and joy and all those things to go before me. Yeah, I guess I'm just sharing my learnings with you. That's where I'm at, you guys. That's my learnings. But I do feel like it's really relevant, because in all of these groups that we've spouted off, we can pretend like we're all sitting in those rooms and like doing a bunch of important things, but it's really that we're sitting in these rooms and we're learning together. We're co-creating. And so if we are willing to speak up about like, hey, that feels like an edge to me, and actually I'm not sure what that's about, I'm not going to get offended about it. I'm not going to, walk out. I'm not going to quit. I'm just going to examine it with you, and let's go deeper than maybe we've ever been able to go before over this thing. We'll learn something new, and that can contribute to the whole. So I'm grateful for this time. I'm grateful for where we are on the planet, and really excited to see what comes next. The Connection Field is one of these places that you can come play, that is, playing around with co-creation in a learning way for what's new. So definitely come join us if you have the time, if you want to check it out, and we can play there.
That was so. Can you bring Julie on too? I really love our leadership coming together. I mean, we're all pretty badass women in our own rights. And I've never had so much fun with another, couple of powerful women, where we actually are being so authentic and so real and really embodying it and going through it. So I just love you both so much. And I know the community does too. I know that we're all enriched by each other. So thank you.
Love you, Teresa. Love you, John.
Love you both. Yeah.
So good.
Love the we of us too. I love the we of us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really special, yeah, it's just really special. Can't say anything else. There's no words. So let's have some music, right? Let's have some music. So we have Dava Sonic, who, as she was coming on today, I know I've seen you before on Awaken World, and she said, I do sound baths all the time. I'm all set up to do it. You really are. And you're such a light and such a joy. And
Oh,
it feels
thank
like you're the perfect one to come in after that little sharing. Tammy had us all kind of excited and feeling good. And I feel like you're just the right voice to come in to add some energy to this
Oh, wow.
garden.
Thank you. This is my first time on Global Peace Tribe broadcast, yeah, and anytime where something feels really important, I get the butterflies because I'm like, yes, this is energy that I want to be a part of, that I resonate with, that speaks to me, and all I have to say is wow for everything that you all have spoken on so far in this idea of coherence. Thank you. And so my name is Linda Arnold, aka Diva Sonic, and I do all kinds of music. I'm a sound healer, a medicine music artist, but also an electronic music artist. And today I want to share with you a mantra, one of my favorite Vedic mantras, Sanskrit mantras, the Maha Mrityunjaya mantra. And this is my original version of this mantra. A recording of this is coming out on my birthday, which is Thursday, March 21st. So I'm part of this March tribe. I'm also a dragon. So I feel a lot of alignment here. And this song will be coming out on the Sonic Devas group album. It's my group of women. It's a tribe dedicated to sound healing and medicine music. So I support women in the feminine rising, also in leadership and in mission. So, okay, let's do this. Check, check, check. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivarinam Uvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityamukshyamamrita. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivarinam Uvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityamukshyamamrita. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivarinam Uvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityamukshyamamrita. Sa gandem pushti varanam Or varukamiva bandanam Mrijo mukshiyam amritat Thank you.
It's always nice to just stay in it for a minute.
The
You know,
silence. Yeah.
Yeah, I think sometimes we just kind of rush right off, but there's something about this kind of accumulation of the voices and the frequency of each person, and then the music kind of brings us deeper, and we're going deeper into our flow tonight. We're going to actually start moving into a meditation. So that was the perfect kind of like prayer to start us off, and
Yes.
we'll be hearing from you again tonight. So thank you. That was so
Thank you,
beautiful.
Teresa.
Yeah, so beautiful.
Mhm.
So yeah, so we've been talking about the connection field. It is a social environment where we're focused on cultivating coherence. So if you're wanting more connection with other people that are having these conversations, it's a great place to go. It's also something we believe in. We believe that there's a field that's connecting us, right? So that's at the core of what we understand to be. And we're partnering with wonderful organizations like the HeartMath Institute, and I'm bringing on Annette, who's part of our team with the Global Coherence Pulse, and she's part of HeartMath. And in the connection field, she does an event once a month on the full moons where she helps us learn about using the Global Coherence app. So if you happen to have the Global Coherence app, you can kind of bring it up. If you don't, you can go to the App Store and you can download it, or you can just watch tonight and see what we have an opportunity to. But the science is beginning to help us to see the correlation between the quality of our presence and our coherence, and the work that HeartMath's doing with the Global Consciousness Project and with HeartMath. There's wonderful ways that we can be part of the science. So Annette, thanks for coming on today. And I'm really excited for you to share more about the app and anything else that you want to share about what HeartMath's doing or your participation in the connection field.
Thank you, Teresa, and nice to see you here all tonight. So yeah, like Teresa mentioned, I'll offer a full moon meditation, full moon global coherence app practice once a month. And the reason we pick full moon is that the full moon supposedly magnifies the energy. And so if you already have downloaded the Global Coherence app, you can please participate. I'm just going to show here on my screen, that's what it looks like once you open it. So it's HeartMath Institute to the Global Coherence app. And once you're on the Global Coherence app, you can just tap Join Global Group. And there's numerous ways of participating. You can buy sensors from HeartMath, but you can also just use your camera sensor. I only have like one camera, so the finger goes on the camera. But if you've got numerous camera lenses, it usually goes on the very top, the finger. So if you got any questions, you're also very welcome to join me during the next full moon meditation. I believe it's the 24th of March, or email me. And so once you join this global group, you just have a screen and you can choose the wired Bluetooth or the camera sensor. And then you just click on join session. I mean, right now for demonstration, I do the camera sensor. And like I said, you just choose which sensor to use. Click on join session. And then you can see right now I'm holding it, the camera goes on, the finger goes on there. And you'll see for a moment like a red field, and you'll see the pulse or the heart rate on the display. So please, all of you who are ready to do so, please join me here and join us for the upcoming meditation with Khadijah. So thank you very much for joining this connection field, and thank you, Teresa.
Yeah, Annette, just a couple more things on the app. And if you need just a minute, you guys can just download it from the Apple Store, or those of you that already have it, we can just see what our coherence rating is. But it's really been updated. Today I had to log in again because I couldn't remember my password. And I got to see all of the new things. There's a video when you come in that actually really talks about coherence, and there's a ton of guides. So anytime you feel like you just want to like take a pause, you can jump onto the app, and there's some wonderful guided meditations there. There's some focuses that you can do that everybody's doing on a regular basis, like the global care focuses. And so there's so much, and I can't believe how much the app has grown since we started using it 4 years ago with the Global Coherence Pulse. And now we have it where everybody can participate with the sensor. It's pretty exciting.
It's exciting, especially since it's for free. When you use a camera sensor, you don't have to, invest any money into that.
Yeah.
So anyone can participate from anywhere as long as you have a smartphone.
Yeah, great. And I'm going to put a link in the chat. There's an in-person and virtual retreat that's going to happen in May with HeartMath. We've only been able to join virtually for a few years because of COVID and all of it. And this is the first time we get to come together in person and then actually have a hybrid event where we're going global. So I really want to encourage as many people as possible is to join the virtual part of it if you can't come in person. Because imagine like what we had this morning with the Global Coherence Pulse, which was about 75 minutes, and the energy that we were able to generate. Imagine 4 days of actually dropping into deeper layers of coherence. So I look forward to seeing you, Annette. I hope you're going to be there in person.
For sure.
Okay, great. So we're going to move into a little bit of a flow of doing a meditation and then having some music. And if you want to have your finger on the sensor, if you want to be on the app, please do that. So you can just get a sense that we're growing and we're in the connection field. And it's a beautiful way for us to see that. So Khadijah, thank you again for this morning. It was so beautiful. Khadijah has a meditation, I don't even know what to call it. Like you have so many beautiful meditations with your journey into the soul. And Khadijah has been with the iterations of the connection field from the Global Coherence Pulse perspective, the islands of coherence and the connection field. And she's just been so committed to cultivating the community in all of those spaces. And now is kind of like our lead heart in the field. If you come into the connection field, you're likely to run into Khadijah, who's going to welcome you. And if you need help, she's there for you. But she's also an excellent meditation guide. And we're going to have a chance right now to just like drop through just now all of the words and actually come into a deep space together and experience the connection field through our hearts. So Khadijah, we love you.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I just want to share one little thing, and then we're going to go right into the meditation. So tonight's show is about living purpose-filled. And we have been talking in the connection field a lot about how every moment of our life can be our purpose. And everything that we do, every breath we take, every word we say, and every thought we think can directly be our purpose. And I think that's beautiful and wonderful. And I've been really enjoying it. But what I really wanted to share, because it's just love the universe, is I made a little cup of tea before I came in for the session. And I love the ones with the little quotes on them. And the quote that was given tonight was, "May you create peaceful harmony as your life's purpose." So may we all tonight in this meditation and the next few minutes, may we all bask in the peaceful harmony of our own hearts. So let's drop in together. If you haven't already, now is a perfect time to gently close your eyes and drift your awareness inside to your inner world, your inner space. And simply take a moment to check in. Check in with how you're feeling. Check in with the thoughts that are flowing through your mind. Check in with the breath. And then gently begin deepening and softening your breath. Maybe even allowing your exhale to extend out just a little longer than your inhale. Beginning to slow down with the breath. And as you breathe, feel how your breath flows through your body. And let this breath soften you. Allow your breath to nourish you. And with the next deep breath, begin breathing directly into your sacred heart space in the center of your chest. You may choose to place one or both hands on your heart to create a physical connection. Or you may choose to simply feel the breath flow to and through your heart. Feel as your heart expands hearts with the breath. Awakening the love that is within you, that is you. And with each breath, inviting this love to grow, to expand with the heart. And with your breath, help this love flow into all the particles and cells that make up your precious body and field. Replenishing your spirit and bringing peace to your soul. And with each continued deep breath, let this field of love around you grow. Radiating, emanating this sacred love of your precious heart. And trust that as you embrace this love, as you feel this love, you are also sending this love out into the universe, expanding our collective field of love. So let yourself expand even more and feel the love of this field. With each breath, dropping in a little deeper, letting go a little more. And when you notice edges to your own expansion, breathe into them and let the love of your heart break them down and dissolve them. Can you feel a little more love? Can you expand ever so slightly more into the vast expanse of all that is? As you continue to allow yourself to feel this love, gather up all these beautiful energies of love and peace. And with the next few breaths, send a little prayer out into the universe to share these energies with those who need it most right now. And then gather this love back up and bring it into your own sacred heart. And continue to breathe this love in, allowing yourself to become this love. And as the music fades and we find ourselves in a silent pause, may you allow yourself to continue basking in the love of your sacred heart.
Everything is breathing in, everything is breathing out. The whole universe is breathing with me. Everything is opening, everything is closing, expanding and contracting in the universe. The breath of the universe rushes through my body. The breath of the universe, the breath of life. And I am breathing, I am feeling, I am a mystery. Since my first breath, since my first cry, this breath will carry me until the day I die. Like an ocean wave through my being, I am breathing the breath of life. And I am breathing, I am feeling, I am alive, I am a mystery. And I am breathing, I am feeling, I am alive, I am a mystery. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Everything is breathing in, everything is breathing out. The whole universe is breathing with me.
Let's bring Kali J back on. Tatiana and Kali J. From, yeah. What we feed the field matters, and what we're feeding the field with right now is beautiful and profound and makes a difference. And a huge impact on the whole thing. Let's all send a little love and energy to Tatiana and Kali J for guiding us in that beautiful.
I wasn't sure what song I was gonna play. I just decided to like tune into where her meditation was going, and this song was like, this is the one. So
we had that earlier today where the two of them, Kali J, did a meditation. We had Tatiana just come in and like share afterwards, and I tell you, the two of you weaving together, it's really so beautiful. So I'm so glad we got to experience that again. And can we bring Annette on? Because so I had my finger on the center. It was so fun to actually just kind of like every once in a while kind of look up and see what was happening. And I wonder, it says my volume's consistency lower. Can you guys hear me okay?
It's a little lower, but it's not too much lower.
Okay. All right. I'll talk just a little bit louder. But Annette, is there anything that you might want to tell us about what you saw on it? Like, we get how many coherence points we added into the field. We got to see our own coherence. We got to see like global coherence. I noticed, Julie, what you said the other, like on the thing this morning, that like all of a sudden you smiled and like the coherence points went up when you did that. I noticed I did that same thing. So Annette, is there anything that you want to tell us that we might have noticed in doing that? Just so we'll keep being encouraged to use that.
Yeah, so on that screen, you can basically see your coherence under that pulse line in kind of green or turquoise, and then global coherence in pink. And so of course, we're really hoping to have a lot of people online to really be able to link the global coherence with the Global Coherence app and also the Global Consciousness Project with a random number generator that HeartMath is starting now. We're hoping to link all of that data. There's already some promising data, I think, for this peace meditation that Kadi J participated in as well for Israel. We saw like a shift during that meditation that Roland was leading for sure in the global field. And so it's really valuable data, but like Teresa mentioned, that I've noticed it myself too when I look at the coherence scores, that if my mind goes to something like, oh, I have to pay bills, suddenly my coherence drops. If my mind goes to like, oh my God, like it's so heartwarming, and I felt my heart was just warm and fuzzy meditating with you all and Kadi J and Tatiana, I mean, so beautiful. And the coherence just goes up. And so it's important for all of us to find what works for us to come to that coherent place.
Yeah.
But the Scrub energy is powerful.
Yeah. Thank you, Annette. So beautiful.
Thank you, Teresa.
Well, we're going to keep going with the experience of being in the connection field. And I'm going to bring in Grace Lynn right now with our global heart team, And Grace is offering things in the connection field all the time. I know somebody was saying, God, it'd be so nice if we had some ways to interact with each other. And boy, in the Global Coherence Pulse, there's lots of that happening. And Grace, your love is in there. And I know that you're going to give us an experience as well, because you always do. That's part of what your role is and your sacred purpose. And, you know, I think as we start to tune in to our natural state of coherence, at least this has been it for me, is that our purpose begins to become clear. And it's not like a project or a thing. It becomes this partnership with life where we're willing to let go of what we think it's supposed to look like. And we actually start to show up and do what our heart calls us in every moment to contribute. And all of a sudden we're in the current of our purpose in ways that we never even imagined. So thank you for being in the current of your purpose always, Grace. And we love you and thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you, Teresa. And thank you all. And yes, what they're talking about is I'm an example, Global Heart Team. And our purpose this year is the Global Love Wave. As you see here in this map back here, we have been loving up 4 countries going from east to west. And this Global Love Wave is coming east to west. And what I got divinely inspired was to share this globally, that the only way to transform the tidal wave of fear in our humanity is the global love wave, a wave of love. And earlier today in the Global Coherence Pulse, Ervin Laszlo said, the heart will change the world. And I was so touched by that it's not going to be, we're not going to figure it out with our mind, but we're going to do it with our heart. And we follow our hearts, no matter what it is, what we're inspired divinely to do, that is ours to do. And so let love be our heart's home base, that whatever we do it out of the field of love, not out of fear. And so what came to me during the 7 days of rest, we were doing Love Day, me and Michelle and Claire from HeartMath. And what came up out of that experience of us 3 being together was the breath of love, 5 breaths of love. And I put it in the chat, but we're going to have experience of 5 breaths of love. Now, we've been doing this in the Global Heart Team every week in the connection field since January. And we have 238 love beacons. So you can sign up to be a love beacon too at www.globallovewave.com. I put the link in the chat. And if you sign up, you just have to promise to do 1 5 breaths of love a day. Only takes 2 minutes. Piece of cake. We are already primed. Thank you, Kata J. My heart is so open right now. So this would be so easy to do the 5 breaths of love. And so as you do this, just return to a heart and know the heart, that's going to change the world. What we put our heart into. Well, whatever you put your heart into, make it with your purpose. And that's going to change. So I'd like to start off with the 5 breaths of love. So close your eyes and open your heart. Kata J did a beautiful job of us opening our heart to that source of unconditional love. And as you take that first breath of love in, take it into your heart, and you fill your heart with this beautiful, unconditional loving energy, and allow that energy to flow into every cell of your body. And with that first exhale, sending that love out to your family members. It could be your birth family members. It could be your soul family members. It could be your pet family members. But allowing that love to ripple out. Remember that image that Teresa shared with us, those love threads that connect us to our families. And the second breath, as you breathe in that unconditional love into your heart again, fill it up. And as you exhale, sending this love out to your friends. If a friend comes to mind, sending it to them, or just friends all over the world. But allow that love to flow in those threads of love to your friends. And taking that precious third breath into your heart, again, filling it up with love. And as you exhale, sending this love out to your neighbors. It could be your neighbors in your street, your neighbors in your community, the neighbors in your city, your state, your country, whatever you consider your neighbors. And then breathing that fourth breath of love in. And as you exhale and share this love out, sending it out to all your coworkers, your co-creators, anyone you work on a project with, sending them love. So this is just connecting us even deeper in love together. And on that fifth breath, taking that nice big breath of love into your heart. And imagine you have so much love in your heart that you could send this love out to every living being on earth. That all 8 billion plus hearts, human hearts out there, are receiving this love. The animal kingdoms all are receiving this love. The plant kingdom. And even imagine expanding out into the cosmos to all galactic beings. And in this field of love, anything is possible. Just notice how you're feeling in this moment, with your heart lit up, with all these threads of connection through love. Just sensing your body, sensing your heart. Imagine your heart smiling right now, being so full of love. And that is the 5 breaths of love that will hopefully transform the tidal wave of fear into the global love wave. Thank you all. And thank you all, beautiful love beacons who sign up at thegloballovewave.com. We love to have you here.
Let's all sign up right now. The Global Love Wave. We can add to the beacons of love. I love that Laura put in the chat. This is something I can do every day.
Every day, just once a day.
Breaths.
And we think if you know more people, at least 50 people between your family, your friends, your coworkers, your neighbors, and you think 238 people, 50 times that, over about 12,000 people every day is getting unconditional love. If we expand that, it just gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, let's start having people attend the Global Coherence Pulse. Let's do the love wave every day. Let's come in, and it's like, we can either get distracted by things that can entertain us. We're all on our phones and we're sliding away. But if we can decide that what we really want is purposeful connection, and we want content that uplifts and calls us into a deeper state of coherence inside of ourselves, in a way that we can feel the impact of our love into the world, it's not easy to sustain it alone, but together we can really feel our capacity to sustain it. So there's so many cool things that we can do. And the nice thing, I think, around the connection field, and I haven't been opening up everybody's websites. Normally we would see that we're putting in the chat, but if we did, what you'd see is that all of these different people, Julie, Tammy, Hadi J, Grace, they're all offering something out into the world. And what they said was, I'm going to offer it in here too, so that I can be part of something bigger and my impact can be greater because I'm doing it in relationship with others. And when we do that, don't you feel like you actually don't have to do so much? You don't have to build this, or you don't have to, you just come in and do the part that the universe is calling you to do in every moment.
Yeah, we do this every Thursday at 4:00 Eastern time in the connection field, the 5 breaths of love.
5 breaths of love. I'm going to do it every day. I'm going to be a love beacon.
Well, thank you, Teresa. Thank you all.
Oh, thank you, Grace. We love you. So you'll see there's so much fun happening. And we brought in a new friend to the connection fields. He actually came in and took a look around and said, this might be a good place for me to be able to connect the kids that I'm helping to learn about coherence. Andrew Freeman is a longtime friend of mine. We met in the Resonance Academy, another learning community exploring the idea that we're all connected. And he's created an coherence education for kids. And he's going to tell you a little something about that. And I was thinking it's such a perfect one for us to bring into the call today with the connection field and the importance of coherence. Because when we think about how do we bring coherence and the idea of coherence into children, into their lives, and if we can really get that right, then those are the things that we need to bring it into our own lives, because it should be fun, it should be natural, it should be calling toward our inner intelligence. So Andrew, it's lovely to have you on. Thanks for joining us today. And
it's so lovely to be here, Teresa.
We're excited to hear about what you're up to.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And hi, everybody. I got to say, this is just such a good feeling way to spend a Saturday evening, isn't it? Or whatever time it is for you. But yeah, just the music and the good vibes and everybody doing such good work. It feels like just dipping into the best waters of our favorite spa, right? So just loving sharing this coherence with the group. And I love that the theme tonight is living a purpose-filled life, right? And I've been all over the place in my life. I first got a job because I was supposed to get a job, and I got a career that kind of made sense and long life path, but I'm really living my purpose right now, which is transforming education for kids. And probably like most of you, I've done a lot of education as an adult, right? And I'm wondering if you guys realize that adult education, like personal growth education, is a $30 billion industry. And you got to ask why. Why is it so big? Right. And maybe put into chat, what kinds of classes have you taken as an adult? Maybe around communication, around finances, maybe meditation, maybe healing, personal growth, dance, great. Right. And usually it's around things that get us coherent again, right? And why do we have to do that? Meditation, energy medicine, yoga, all of the above. Right. And a lot of times it's because we want to grow, and other times it's because we hit some kind of a crisis, right? Maybe it's a relationship crisis, maybe it's a financial crisis, maybe it's a career crisis. Yep, personal leadership. Exactly. So the question is, how big would this industry be if we learned this stuff when we were kids, right? And why don't we learn this as kids? So, and then, but I guess we're learning STEM in school, right? So it's okay because we're learning that and it's valuable. Well, check out these statistics, which are kind of horrifying. So just since 2019, for kids, depression is up 29%. Psychiatric drug prescriptions are up 38%. Suicides are up 62%. So whatever we're doing is not working. And I aim to do something about it. And that's what we're doing at Coherence Education. I think the problem really is it's a coherence problem and it's a purpose problem, right? So kids are getting out of coherence. If you're in coherence, you don't feel like, you don't feel lost, you don't feel depressed. I mean, you can, but you know how to regulate yourself. So what we're doing is we're teaching a lot of different types of classes. And we're using the masters of adult education to help us. So we're really harnessing these best practices that are really working for adults. So we've had our guests in our classes have been Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton and Lynn McTaggart. A lot of our friends, Marshall Lefferts, Foster Gamble, Reverend Michael Beckwith. We've had all these guys in teaching the kids and just getting them fired up about who they really are. And at the core, again, the kids are facing a coherence problem. So what do we need to do to get them back into coherence? We teach them about the unified field, that beautiful image that Teresa was showing. You know, we teach them what is the unified field? Well, it's this soup that we live in, right? That's basically infinitely energetic. It's connected to everything, and it's got all information in every space because it's holographic. I taught for Nassim as well, just like Teresa did. And I thought that's the really beautiful thing about that teaching is once we know who we really are, you know, it's harder to get lost. And we realize if we feel powerless, if we feel disconnected, if we feel lonely, it's by definition not true because the field is all those things. So we taught a class with HeartMath. So thank you, HeartMath friends, for participating with us. And we taught kids how to meditate. So I wanted to let you know, we've got some classes coming up. Our website is coherenceeducation.org. If you go up there, we've got a number of classes starting next week, and check out what classes we have. So we have Ancient Civilizations for kids, and it's really a critical thinking course. So we're going to be going back and looking at the mainstream explanation, for example, how the pyramids were built. Thank you, Teresa. Versus what we really see through observation. Teresa and I were both in Egypt together, for example, and also in Peru, seeing these amazing sites and finding out, wow, I don't think those were built with copper chisels and vines and that sort of thing. And we really don't know how old they are. So we're going to be going through a lot of critical thinking exercises. We got some amazing guests on there, Brian Forster, Chris Dunn, these different experts in ancient civilizations are going to be coming on. We have a course called Friend Magic, which is really all about relationships and communication. So what kid doesn't want to have better friendships and more friends? And the biggest friendship we're going to be working on is the friendship with ourselves, right? And also just incredible guests on there. Katie Hendricks, Katie Love. We've got an amazing cast of expert teachers coming on there. We sent out a survey to all the parents and kids, asking them what they wanted to learn from this new set of classes. Animal communication was actually number one. And we've got some of the foremost animal communication experts in the world coming on. And really, this is all about us making sure that we're super connected with our intuition. Animals are such a great way for us to make sure that we are in our inner communication, telepathic communication, intuitive best. We have a class called Uplevel Your Life with Dance. So we've got this amazing hip hop instructor, Angel Guzman, who's going to be walking the kids through a bunch of really cool steps, and they're all going to choreograph their own dances by the end. Obviously, the best way to raise your coherence a lot of times is to move your body, and especially to dance to music. And then we have Robert Wagner, who literally wrote the book on lucid dreaming, teaching kids how to make the most of their dream lives, to have meaningful journeys and transform through their dreams, and really make the best use of that third of our life that we spend in bed dreaming. So, so we've got that going. I've got a number of other things that we're creating with Coherence Education. Next year, we're launching a full-time accredited program that's going to be all about path of purpose. So living with purpose. Each kid will learn really what is their purpose? What are they excited about? What are their natural talents? And then we're going to be walking them through projects so they can start really learning how to extend themselves out in the world. So by the time they're 18, they're going to know how to build websites and market and create brochures and build communities, that type of thing. So really build those life skills. So if they go to college, or if they get out of college, they're not just going to be getting some sort of a job because it's a job. I don't think that's really going to be much of an option anymore in the future. There's going to be too much competition from AI. I think we're really going to have to be coherent and living our best selves to really thrive in the future. Obviously, that's the best way to be happy too. So we're helping lots of kids to do that. And we're also partnering with HeartMath to create an inner health bundle that's going to address a lot of these kids who are having a lot of psychological, a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety problems, to help get them into coherence. So we're launching that in the next several months as well. So a lot of exciting things going on. If you have kids in your life, your own kids or grandkids or nieces and nephews or friends' kids, please let them know about our classes. They do start Monday. For anybody on this program, I'm giving you a 50% discount. So I'm going to pop it into chat here. The code is LEARN50. So just pop that into the special offer area and checkout, and it's 50% off. And then if you would like to, if what I'm talking about resonates with you, if you're an educator at heart, if you want to help kids, please get in touch. I'm Andrew at coherenceeducation.org. If you have special materials that you want to be able to teach, or if you want to be a financial partner through our growth, would love to hear from you as well. So want to thank you again for basking in these beautiful spa waters of coherence with us tonight. And I'm excited to get to know all of you more and learn about your greater purpose as well. So thank you again, Teresa, Omashar, beautiful musicians, beautiful community.
I'm trying to type in your email address and I didn't do very well. So you need to do that. You can see mine as like a 3 and a W. And Andrew, thank you so much for that. And it is important, if you do have kids, like what a great way to start this conversation and to bring them into it. And I know Marshall and Foster and others, that Nassim, who have participated in your courses, are over the moon excited about the level of questions and the level of awareness that's already present in the young people, and that you have parents and kids taking the courses together. And I think that's what we need. Like we need to be educating ourselves, and we need to be showing that our kids that cultivating greater coherence in the heart of our lives is one of the most essential things that we can do for ourselves and for the planet. And so thank you for doing that and giving the kids some fun things to explore, Andrew. We look forward to having, people in the connection field knowing about you. That's the one thing about the connection field. And I think with Grace and everyone that has these different offerings like Andrew, you can imagine the connection field in some ways kind of like this little lighthouse, or this little like way station, this little village where everybody said, like, I'm going to come and put up my little booth so that as people come through finding their way in that big field of connection, they're somehow attracted into this space. And what they find there are the things that they need right now in order to live their purpose more fully. And then if they go off and find that thing, it's wonderful. And if they stay in the village and cultivate and share their gifts, that's great too. There's no attachment to it being the place. It's a place that's providing a connection to the best coherent generating offerings, people, community engagement that there is right now. So lovely to have you as part of that, Andrew, and everybody else that's shared. Every single person is offering something that makes it greater than the sum of its parts. Yeah. Oops, you're muted.
What a beautiful community you've put together, Teresa. Thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of it.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. So the last part of our little journey is that we're going to actually invite you into the Connection Field social community network, right? We've been talking about the Connection Field, which is everywhere all the time, and that we're awakening to it. We're talking about the Connection Field as a living process that a group of organizations have come together and committed to doing, and that we're actually like, it's the meeting we love to go to every week, you know, our Connection Field partners, because we're actually really learning how to live it and how to stay open to not like forecasting how it should be or deciding what we need to do in order to make it happen. And instead of, we're actually able to rest a little bit in that ambiguity, in the not knowing long enough to see what we're being called to do and what our part is. And I think that's what coherence begins to make visible or reveal, is that our purpose begins to be revealed the more we relax into a state of individual and collective coherence. So Kadi J, I'm going to bring you on. And
Oh, are we going to have Diva Sonic next?
oh, that's right. We have a song first. That's a perfect thing. Diva Sonic. Thank you, Omashar.
All right. Hi, everyone. So first of all, I'm really excited to tell my daughter about the animal communication course. So thank you. Andrew, I'm just so excited to show her this. She's a little star child, 11-year-old. And so when I saw that, I got really, really stoked. The kids need this. They need more. They need to expand earlier than we give them credit for sometimes. So the song I'm going to do is called Nature's Child. And it's a love letter to the earth, which I know that one of the missions of Global Peace Tribe is to create this harmonious relationship with the earth. And so the mantra is Om Gaya Ma, and this one has a little beat. So I know we've been on here for some time and sharing. So if you feel like you want to get up and move or move in your seat or create some movement in the body, I welcome you to do that with this piece. Okay. Om Gaya Ma. Thank you, thank you.
I know we bring on musicians to play this really powerful role for us to like really take us deeper into the current of what's occurring. And I also know that the musicians that are rising forward right now that are actually transmitting a
Not really hearing you, Teresa.
are transmitting a frequency are also thought leaders. And so I just want to give you a minute if there's something you would like to say from your heart, following that song into the field, because not only are we here to receive your music, but we're here to receive the wisdom that's actually playing the flute, the current that's actually moving through the music. So just want to give you a moment for that.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. Well, I think it goes, what I want to say goes back to Teresa, what the video that you showed us, how all things are interconnected and attracting, right? And like attracts like, but where does that come from? And I think music and sound is coming from and reminding us about this field, right? The field of cosmic consciousness, pure potentiality, Indra's web, you know, the many ways, the unified field, all the ways that we describe this. It's where all the potentials and all the love and everything resides. And that's why music and sound is such an important factor in programs like this and just in the world, right? And music with the intention of connecting hearts and being peaceful beings on this planet. So it became very clear in my life very young that there was something more than just playing the music. There was a mission and intention behind it. It's what I bring forth in my own programs and my own coaching for people that want to rise to the level of sharing sound, and also in my work to work to be connected to the sound as much as possible, for that to be coming from an authentic place, to provide peace and elevate consciousness also. Yeah. So, yes.
Well, we experienced your intention and transmission tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was an honor, seriously. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Beautiful. So this last part of our time together, I hope you'll stay just a little bit longer, because it will be really beautiful. Khadija is just going to show us the connection field, which is the network part of it, right? There's all these layers that we talked about, but there's also a space where you can come and hang out, and you can, you know, attend Grace's event, or you can do a meditation with Khadija, or you can hang out in the community. She's just going to show us a little bit, and then she's going to introduce a few of our community members who were gracious enough to come on tonight to just share what it's like to be in the, you know, the community, because we want the Global Peace Tribe in there. We want everyone to come and play there and share your gifts. And so Khadija, thank you for this part and for introducing the community. And then from there, we'll have some announcements from Omashar, and then we're going to have a closing lullaby from Tatiana. So just stay right to the juicy end, because remember, the intention was that at the end that we feel nourished, and that it felt relevant, and that we said, that was just what I needed. So we're almost there. Connie J.
Thank you so much, Teresa. Thank you everyone for being here. Like Teresa said, please, please, please stick around. This little part I'm going to show is not going to take very long, and then we're going to bring on some of our friends in the community. And I think that to me is so precious, because it's one thing to listen to, you know, those of us that are here trying to help in the core, you know, make the space for everyone. But it's a whole nother level when we get to actually hear testimonies from community members that are in there playing around and experiencing it themselves. So thank you to our community members that are going to come on, and thank you all for being here. Let me just share my screen really quick. And I'm just going to precursor this really briefly. I'm sharing from a test account so that what you see will be very similar to what you're going to see when you come in, when you make your own membership. So let me see, and then I'm gonna put this link in the chat. Multitasking. All right, let's all take a.
Charles, we love Charles.
Yeah, I actually did that on
We love your
purpose. I did this.
On tonight. We love your posts.
Yeah, Charles has been coming in and sharing these amazing blessings, which I really appreciate. And I have to read it because it would be unfit if I didn't. It should be unfair. So we're just gonna read this blessing. Thank you, Charles. I bless all the past and present times when I may have lacked or lack patience. I bless my ability to be patient and kind with myself and others. Consciously perceiving situations in which I am impatient helps me develop character and strength. Learning how to be more patient helps me cope better with everyday challenges in my life. May I find the courage I need to remain calm no matter what is happening around me in any given moment. Living in the present moment allows me to free myself from any burdens of my past. This is my new truth. Thank you, Charles, for bringing that forth. So when you come into the connection field, you end up on this page. I'm going to show you. You end up in this featured play space of how to navigate. You get plopped right here with this little welcome checklist over on the right-hand side. And these are just a few steps to help orient you into the space. We're not going to go through them now because you'll see them when you come in. And this is just, it's an onboarding sequence to help support you at your entry. Taking a little bit of time to go through that will really help you make sense of the whole platform. And once you understand the platform, it's just really easy to get around and you know what you're doing. So just taking that little extra time is really very beneficial. So very briefly, our network is made up of collections of spaces. We currently have 2 collections that are available. That's featured play spaces and islands to explore. The featured play spaces have 3 collections that you're automatically joined into and one that you get to choose, the community bulletin. The 2 that you're added into, or the 3, I'm sorry, are How to Navigate, Central Community Feed, and the Coherence Cafe. And the community bulletin, that's really a space for you to choose to enter, and it's a space for you to share your own gifts, whatever you have going on in your own life, your own thoughts, your own experiences, offerings, whatever you have. But we have these awesome playgrounds within the Central Community Feed and the Coherence Cafe. And if you think of the Central Community Feed, it's kind of like that living room of this big mansion where we're all hanging out together. And we get to come into the living room and have coffee and hang out and just really enjoy each other's presence. And this is where we take home in one way, our monthly themes. And so every day there's a new question that pops up and around that theme. And for this month, it's purpose-filled life. So you'll find these questions and you get to go in and answer and share with the other members and communicate with others and really kind of engage and experience with other people and then hear what others have to say. And then we have the Coherence Cafe, which is kind of like our Zen room. It's that space we go to refill our cup, to kickstart our coherence practice. And everything in this space is curated by the hosts of the network. And there are a lot of events that you can go to. I'm going to show you those in a minute because I actually I want to show you 2 main tabs that are really important to know about. And so I don't want to click around in the spaces too much because you'll do that on your own, I promise. But so in here, we have all these different offerings and different events. And this is where you're going to find Julie's amazing Sip on This Whole Latte Love posts. And they're just brilliant. And you can read the different things that she shares. She always has some quote and then some beautiful, beautiful thing to help us bring us deeper into our hearts and radiate that back out into the world. And then she invites us to share our experience with her so we can do that as well. And so you can kind of see that there's different things going on in here. But so this is the Coherence Cafe, I said, is curated by hosts. Central Community Feed is that living room anybody can share. You can share something in here. You can create a post. You can make a comment, whatever you want to do. And the community bulletin as well. And then we have all of the islands. And you have to actually click on islands to explore to find them because you're not automatically added into them. We didn't want to just throw a bunch of stuff at you. We wanted to give you that autonomy of choice, right? Who do you want to, what groups do you want to be a part of? What content are you searching for? What modalities soothe your soul? And maybe you have something that you want to actually offer in here for the community as well. And so we have all these great islands: Unify, Go to the Whole, Heart Math, All Things Connected, Global Heart Team, Love Voice Rising, Peaceful Awakenings, Gene Keys, Soul Journey, Becoming the Butterfly, The Game, One World, Evolutionary Playground, and World Upshift Forum. I mean, there are so many different places to come and play. And each one of those has events they offer or a feed, depending on where they are. They don't all offer certain things. They're very, it's dependent on what you're doing. But here's the cool thing about it is that you can go over to my feed, which is over on the left-hand navigation bar. And after you've chosen to join those islands and chosen to join what spaces you want to be a part of, if you come to my feed, you'll see everything, all the content from all the spaces that you follow, from all the islands, from the Central Community feed, from the Coherence Cafe. You'll find it all in my feed. And you can scroll in one place. And we kind of have joked around in the past that if you're going to scroll, why not scroll here, right? So there's all sorts of stuff that you can find in there, and it looks a little bit different on the test account because on the test account, I haven't added any of those islands. So that content's not popping up. I'm just seeing from those few spaces that you're auto-joined into. And then if you go into my events, which is also over here on the left-hand side, then you see all the events that are available to you from all the spaces that you follow. And there are a lot of things going on in here. There are a lot of people that are sharing their heart. There's Intro to Coherence on Mondays. There's a Peace Pause on Tuesdays. This Tuesday, I'm going to be doing like office hours if anybody needs additional support in the network or help or just needing a space to go and share and I don't know, get support by being in there. You can come in. There's Connecting Your Love Voice on Wednesdays. I do a Radiant Heart every other Thursday, and then Alexei Vase does an Imagine meditation every other Tuesday. I mean, there's so much going on. And then in the community bulletin, we also have other events. You're not seeing those on my events because I'm not following that space because it's not auto-added. But if I were to follow this space from this test account, we would see that there also. So I just wanted to pop over and show you because there's also on Mondays, there's a men and women's group going on. And I'm showing this intentionally because you have to go join that community bulletin to see this men and women's group. We have another offering from one of our members that she just kind of shared something a workshop she's doing. But this men and women's group is really, I wanted to highlight that because people were asking for places to go and just commune and talk with others where there's not a designated host and you kind of just get that space. And this is really what I believe that men and women's group is trying to do, along with so many of these in here. Like Michelle Marie, while she does host this Intro to Coherence, it's really a sacred circle for everyone that's there. And she does very minimal talking, and it's for the people that are there to share from their heart, to bring forth what they're being called to share. And so it's a perfect opportunity to engage in that space. So that is just like the quick and easy of the connection field. Teresa, do you want to say something before
Could you just click on members? Because it's so cool how you
Yeah.
get to see like see. This is where we get to see members that are new, that are close to us, and ones that we're connected to, and get to know each other a little bit more because we're all part of the same communities, whether you're from Unify or Global Peace Tribe, or you're with a Good of the Whole, or you've been following Unity Earth or something. We all keep finding ourselves in these different places. And so you get to learn about each other. You get to share who you are, and maybe you'll find some partners and teammates that are working on something similar or whose purpose is starting to vibrate at a particular thing that you feel inspired by. So thanks, Connie J, for sharing that. It's simple. And somebody asks, it's a spiritual Facebook, right? It's a purposeful social environment, right? With coherence at the core. Like we really feel like the cultivation coherence is it. So maybe you can introduce some of the community members that you brought along. I see Jane and Lauren and
Yeah. So I have 4 friends that have agreed to come in and share from their heart. I'm so excited. I'm really grateful that you're all here. But before we do that, we had one other friend that was going to come on tonight and share, and he wasn't able to just for a personal I don't really want to experience. He needed to be somewhere else to tend to his own heart. And that was okay. But I just really want to, if we could all take a nice deep breath and send him a breath of love to our dear Stephen Klein, who is a friend, who is a community member, and who is just a brother on the path. And just send him some love.
Mhm.
And he told me to say, tell them I love and depend on the connection field.
Mm.
Simple and sweet. So wanted to share that.
Oh, so lovely.
Yeah. So I have 4 friends. We also want to bring Rodney Gibson on as well. And I'm actually just going to invite them to share in alphabetical order, just so it was easiest. So we actually want to bring Rodney in because he's going to be the first one to bring his heart. And you can just share whatever you want to share with about the community, with the community.
Oh, okay. Well, I found out about the community by, I guess, Kadijay sent me an email, and I said, I don't know what this is, but I saw that Kadijay had something to do with it. I said, this has got to be something beautiful, and it sure is, boy. I look forward to Julie's Whole Latte Love every morning that she shares his words of love and light and consciousness, and it's just a place where I could come and open my heart and be with similar heart people and like-minded people. And I belong to the group on Mondays that's under the Coherence Cafe. That's with Michelle Marie, and we have the most beautiful time. And then we switch that group a little bit on Wednesdays, and it comes into Love Voice Rising. And it's just a place where you can open your heart. It's a safe place where whatever happens there stays there, and we just open our hearts and see what comes up. It's just a spontaneous place to be more of who I am. And I like to say tonight has been so beautiful. My heart is so open. Thank you all.
Love you, Rodney.
Thank you so much, Rodney. Love you so much.
Thank you, Rodney.
Thank you, Rodney.
Beautiful. Thank you.
It's nice to meet you in person.
Yeah. Yeah, so precious, so precious. Okay. I'm gonna not comment after everyone. I'll just comment at the end. So T-Joy is a beautiful soul, and this is how awesome the connection field is. I met T-Joy, came into the connection field, and she lives up the road from me. So yesterday we got lunch, and she is the most magnificent spirit. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your heart with everyone. Go ahead and share whatever you might feel called to share.
Thank you, my friend. I'm just mirroring you. Namaste, everyone. I came into the connection field last year through HeartMath as a newer HeartMath practitioner. I was looking for ways to practice my practice, as HeartMath says quite a bit. You've got to practice your practice. So I wanted to I was like, man, where else can I practice this? HeartMath has great opportunities for practitioners to get together like twice a month, but I felt I needed more, and I wanted to find a space, and Connection Field has been like a really safe space for me to meet people and to be able to just come in and practice my practice. And what I love about it is, depending on what's going on, I could just come in and see a message, at the cafe, or I could join a heart meditation, or even at a lunchtime. Things are kind of chaotic. You can catch something in the middle of the day, take a break, and recenter myself, feel grounded, and just feel supported, because there's a lot of times in this journey that, you have to walk part of this journey alone, but it's nice to have a community where you can walk that with other people, and you can talk about things that aren't woo-woo, like to the community, and it's really nice that. And one other thing I want to say too that I found about the connection field was I would also call it a gateway, because I got in tune with other organizations through the connection field. Last year, I got an opportunity to play the Peace on Earth game, and I joined it. I said, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to try this thing. And it allowed me to take the heart coherence and to put it in practice within my community and the people around me, and make connections and talk to people. Scary, So I would say that Connection Field is a safe space for me to come, whether I'm seasoned or brand new. You know, introductions, they have that too. And also a gateway to get as much as you need and learn and play in all kinds of ways. So, all right. Thank you guys. Namaste. I love you.
Namaste. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Such good energy, such good. I love you guys. They're so great. Love the community. Okay, Lauren, it's your turn.
Well, I love you, Kylie J.
Yeah.
It's been very nice working with you in the time that
Likewise.
I've been on the Connection Field, as well as with Julie Kroll and a lot of other people who have made my life a lot better. But I guess just a short history is that I spent a lot of my life struggling, and until it fell apart back in about 2016, and then that kind of started me on a new path where I lost my wife, my house, and my job, and my dog, and my cat, and I mean, it was like everything. And well, anyway, so from that time on, I started on a new path, and eventually it became a spiritual path as a direction to go to help heal myself and figure out where things could be better. And so I spent a lot of years researching and reading and doing all these things. And last year, I through a synchronicity that was also with that. I can't think of the name I want to think of right now, but you said it, T Joy, about that piece on Earth. I was involved in that program as well, and then at the same time, I was presented with the Connection Field, and I decided to join it. And I have never in my life really been involved with social media or anything, and I had run off my friends a long time ago because I couldn't handle the stress of getting along with all these different people. And so for 20 years, I had no friends. And so this was, you know, a big deal for me to join the Connection Field and actually interact. And so I made myself do it, and I started writing posts here and there where I thought I could say something useful and or just answer the question for myself. And I really enjoyed it because people responded well. My comments were cheered, and there'd be some helpful hints about life that would come through from people like Kylie J and Rodney and others that I interact with, and Julie. And but over time, it really kind of snowballed as I got to feeling better, and I started writing longer and longer posts and really made myself write everything about my life into these posts so that it would be helpful for myself and helpful for other people. And I put myself first because it's kind of like a living journal to me, to where I have these amazing questions that people ask on there, and like Julie and Kylie J and Teresa Collins and other people ask these questions in there, and I answer them, but they make me really think about life in general. And it's very nice to have those questions, and also to have people responding to what I've written into the Connection Field and coming up with positive things that can help me in my life. And it has. I mean, I've gotten to the point now that some of the responses that people have given me have made me cry, because it's so powerful, and it truly is a connection field to where I have connected with pretty much everyone that I've met on there and or written in there about and to. And I've joked around with people, and it's like, it's just an amazing place that has brought me out of my shell and given me a new purpose in life, to that at this time I'm serving others by writing about my life stories, which have to do with a lot of things that caused the problems in the first place. But it turns out that it's helpful for people, and I am overwhelmed in my own mind at the response, because like even tonight, I'm feeling the connection with the people in the field and through the Global Peace Tribe and all over the world. But you know, some of these songs, like your meditation, Khadija and Khadija, excuse me, and I'm crying because I can feel the connection that we've made together, and it's just so helpful. I was struggling to even get anywhere with all of these things I've been reading and trying to do and practice. And until I got into the connection field, I wasn't going anywhere. But now I feel like I've actually improved, and I'm way better than I was just a few months ago when this all began on Connection Field 2.0. So thank you all very much. I've enjoyed meeting you. I'm glad to meet you in person now, so to speak. And I hope it continues on, and I hope that I can continue to be helpful.
Thank you
So
so much.
thank you.
Lauren. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So precious. Okay, I'm pausing all my comments till the end. And Jane. So I really wanted to bring Jane in to share because she is one of our newer members. She's been there since the Humanities Sacred Mission, right? In February. And she's just, oh my God, she's blowing me away. She's almost at all these different events. She's coming in and really just shining her own precious, beautiful light in the way that we all do, right? And she's just showing that. And I just really I invited her to come on because I really wanted to have that perspective too. Like, she's only been there for a little while. Loren and Tijoy and Rodney have all been there maybe, since the earlier iterations, but Jane is a new member and she has a new experience. And so I just really wanted to bring that perspective as well. So thank you, Jane, for being here.
Thank you for including me. That's a very ironic thing to say. That is my experience of being included and being welcomed and being immediately a part of the connection field. It's a place of nurturing and love and grappling with the truths and the paths that we're all on and our purpose. It's a place of learning and a place of loving and acceptance. And I've really only been on it for a few weeks. I know I actually came on February 29th. I remember I went to the Coherence Cafe and I was so happy. And I went to the latte. I'm sorry. I'm really bad with names of things. And it's a pretty simple name, but I do love my coffee too. So I was drawn there, and I don't remember what the topic was, but I was so excited that there was an extra day in February so I could speak about whatever that topic was. I guess answering humanity's call, sacred mission. And it's been a very sacred experience for me to be there and to be able to just really be myself and share what it is I have to share. And, you guys are wonderful. I have to say that there is no better space for being who you are and sharing that I've ever experienced. Probably not in person, and with all the many, many things that I've done, seeker type things. But the energy level and the love and compassion, and I don't know, it's a special place. And if you have not been there, you really have to come and play in that field with us. And I'm going to read this poem. I actually wrote it my first night. And I was wondering what to say here. So I'm going to read this. I think it's kind of relevant for all of us. We have traveled the same path on seemingly different roads and arrived at the destination, here in the same moment, now, to reunite with delight and to reignite the torch of divine light for truth, justice, compassion, forgiveness, healing, love, and peace. No more time to procrastinate, hesitate, or wait. So long ago we set this date. Our joy as the family of one has re-begun, and just like that, as we rise with the sun, all will embrace the choice to rejoice, and it is done. And for me,
Beautiful.
it's
Thank
been
you.
returning to family, finding my family, coming home.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you
you.
so much. Thank you, Jane. That was a beautiful poem. Thank you.
Very
Thank
nice.
you. Thank you. Yeah. Rodney, T. Joy, Lauren, Jane, thank you all so much for sharing your heart
Yeah.
and sharing yourself with the community. Can we all just take a moment to just send these four beautiful souls a little bit of extra love just for their courage and willingness to come up and share their heart and their vulnerability with all of us?
Thank you.
I mean, this is what it's about. This is really what it's about. It's about gathering together and connecting with one another and meeting people that have these shared interests. I'm not saying all of us have the same interests, right? But you'll find other people in there that have similar ones to yours. And the other thing is, I know I've been looking at some of the names, and I'm the one, I go and send a lot of welcome emails, and I know some of you all are in the connection field, so you should just come play. You're already there. You already have an account. Come play. Come hang out with us, spend the time. Just, if, like I said earlier, if you're going to scroll anywhere, scroll there. And some people don't like to scroll. Some people have no care to be on social media whatsoever. Like even Lauren was sharing, like, didn't really want to be on social media, right? So, but this is a different space. This is a different type of social media. It's really to help us just embrace that connection, the community and the connection. And then I just want to make one more comment before we all peace out. I saw something about somebody asking if we can bring humor in. Yes, please bring humor in. Please bring your whole heart in. Bring you who you are in, and what you think and what you feel and who you are. We are co-creating this space. There might be a core team that's trying to hold the space and hold the field around it, but we are co-creating it, and it's evolving and emerging as what it is supposed to be through each of us, through every single one of us that chooses to go in and play there. It's all of us there. So come play with us. I love you all so, so, so much. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
You're all beautiful souls.
Thanks, Kata J.
Yeah.
Peace and blessings.
Thank you, Kata J.
And Teresa,
Love you all.
Sure. Well, I think it's Omashar has some announcements. We're like coming right down to the end now. Thank you, Connie J. That was so beautiful. And so Omashar, like a few announcements, and then we're gonna have Tatiana bring us into a little lullaby to close us out for the evening.
Yes, I just want to say how embraced I feel. I just feel humbled in the presence of us all. I'm just melting inside, and I'm so grateful. And Scott has been checking in during the evening. He is having a wonderful time, and of course, this is his baby, and we have his baby in our hands. And he texted me, "How's it going?" And I said something like sublime and deepening and profound. And he texted back saying, "I am so relieved to hear that it's being so wonderful." And I checked out with the Twin Ray website, and it's called the Dragon Retreat, The Secrets of the Dragon Retreat. So I'm sure he will share with us on this coming Wednesday what is actually imbibed from it. And so if you do reach out to him in the next 2 or 3 days, don't expect a response, because hopefully he's taking time off from social media, because he doesn't. He's basically got a drip feed happening, so he's in connection all the time. So I'd like to basically invite everybody to join the Global Peace Tribe, globalpeacetribe.com. You can always watch for free on Facebook and YouTube. However, even though most of us are volunteers, we all volunteer our time to come here. It does have some setup costs that are on Scott's shoulders. And so if you join the Global Peace Tribe for as little as $20 for 4 months, 3 months, but you can also have different levels which give you different benefits. That's really, I'll be really grateful. We'll be really grateful, because it helps us continue on. We're going to continue on regardless. It doesn't matter. We're here for eternity. So let's just make this the most wonderful golden age ever. And I'd just like to share the screen here. And what do we have? We have the global, this is the show on Wednesday night. And it is another authors that we love. And look at the beautiful guests we have. Jude Caravan from England, and Kurt Johnson, and Robert Atkinson, Doug King, and Angela Wynn. And so that's going to be a beautiful show. Please join us on Wednesday night. And I will stop that share, and I will say good night to everybody. Teresa, you can have a few last closing comments, perhaps, if there's any of the guests that we have had today that want to comment as well, they can. But of course, we have Andrew and Grace and Tammy and Julie and Diva Sonic, who had to go and look after her daughter, and Tatiana Speed, who we're going to see in a minute, Cardi J and Annette, and of course our beautiful guests that just came on with Cardi J a moment ago. And at the end of the show, we won't have any closing announcements after Tatiana Speed. We'll just have a couple of minutes of ingesting, digesting, whatever it is that you want to call the transmission we have from Tatiana, and then I'll just press stop so that nothing interrupts the beautiful vibration that we have co-created tonight, that we are sending out into the world. It's already done. It's circled around the world and it's come right back here. And so where are we? A minute.
Thank you. Thank you, Omashar. How about if we go from yours to gallery view?
I don't know how to do that.
Just up in the top corner where it says view, you just, because you're the host, you
I have. And is that gallery now?
Okay, it is for me. If everybody, let's go to
Yay.
gallery view so
Thank
we can
you.
see.
Yeah, I'm learning as I go along. Thank you, Teresa.
Yeah, so we can see everyone, and I have been scrolling through the screens, and it's been it feels so heartwarming to see like Eleanor Joy and Sylvia and Mark and Carol and Kiki and Roger and George, and I mean Deborah, like Anada. It's just so beautiful to see everybody's faces. Some I've seen before, some I've never seen before.
And yes, there we are. And there's quite a few hiding behind the wings. If they know they're on camera, come on, guys and girls, bring yourself up, be shown, be seen.
So we're gonna have Tatiana play a little closing song for us, and I just encourage us to come to wherever you feel called, wherever your heart feels called, to connect in with community that's helping you be more of who you came to this planet to be, because right now that's what we need. We don't need anything else from you except for the unique expression of your heart. So if the connection field supports you, the Global Peace Tribe, Coherence, anything that attracts you, say yes to it. And we celebrate that. And I hope you feel nourished. I hope this is just what you needed. And I hope that you're going to take this energy and you're going to spread it far and wide into your own home, into your families, and out into the world. And Tatiana, we love you. And we're so excited that we get to play with you more and more.
Me too. So excited. So excited. This has been so beautiful. And I'm going to serenade you out by playing a little lullaby for you. I'm working on an album called Lullabies for Adults. And you can look at it as the mother holding you, or you holding your inner child. Or you can feel into the love that we have generated today, and just notice anything you're still holding, any tension in your body. And I just invite you to just keep giving it over into this field. Let this field hold you and nourish you and nurture you, and really integrate and digest this beautiful frequency that's here today, that's holding us all. Hush now, come and rest. I'll sing you a lullaby. Hush now, you've done your best. Let the world go by. You can let go of all you carry. I know
how much you worry. For this moment, just fall into the love that's holding you. Hush now, let it down. There's no need to be afraid. Hush now, let it go. You are safe. You can let yourself rest a while. Slow down for your inner child. For this moment, just fall into the love that's holding you. Hush now, let yourself be held in this love. Hush now, let yourself let go in this love. Hush now, let yourself be held in this love. Hush now, let yourself let go. Only love surrounds you now. 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 Feel this love surrounding us. Just drink it in, let your breath flow. Feel this field expand, feel this love holding us. You can even sing this with me. I'll sing just a few more times. Only love surrounds us now. Only love surrounds you 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 now. Thank you all so much. May this love nourish us and fill us to overflowing so we may emanate this into the earth and share this coherent field, this beautiful, beautiful planet, and with each other and with ourselves. Love, love, love surrounds us now. Thank you all.
Night, everyone.